see a square of lights.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm so excited because this is our first unpopular opinion controversial video. So today's topic is relationships. So I'm super excited to get into these topics with you guys. They're very fun, some crack me up, but I am just stating my personal opinion, so do not come after me. But please leave your opinions down in the comments so we can talk about it. And if you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. And yes, we're going to do this look and talk about these topics. So let's go ahead and jump right in. It feels so weird because I can't actually see myself. I don't have a monitor to look at myself in. So we're just going to jump right in to these unpopular relationship opinions. I think that's going to be really fun. Alright, so a little disclaimer. So I'm going to just read through these topics and we're going to discuss it a little bit. And I'm going to give y'all my personal opinion. So whatever topic it is, I'm going to say whether I agree with it or disagree with it. And I'm going to explain to you guys my point of view, and then y'all can leave y'all's point of view down in the comments below. That way we can totally have a conversation about it, because these are really good and I want to see some of y'all's opinions too. We're gonna start with marriage is strictly business. That a lot of people are gonna be like, well, what does that really mean? So a lot of times people will look at a marriage as, just pretty much a business deal, because, once you're married, you do it legally and you go through the courts and everything. So they look at it as a binding contract to somebody. And then too, people look at purchasing your wedding rings and just the big fancy weddings and stuff like that, all financial. So they kind of get the concept that marriage is a business deal, strictly business. However, I personally don't look at marriage as business. To me, when you marry someone, you're gonna marry them because you love them. And that is that. In my opinion, it is not strictly business. I just don't even understand that concept, really. Why someone would look at a marriage as business. Because honestly, you're going to love that. If you truly love that person, you're going to love them whether they have money and whether they can buy you all the fancy things in the world. So yeah, that one I don't agree with. It's not a business contract. So the next one is everyone you dated before adulthood doesn't count. When you get into a new relationship with someone, I personally feel like anyone before you got with that person, it shouldn't matter. Unless it's super important, you have a kid with someone, obviously you're gonna be connected to that person for life if you have a child with them and you're still, but you're with someone else. So at that point, you would have to interact with that person. But I still feel like any kind of relationship before should not matter. And it shouldn't really be brought up in your relationship now, if that makes any sense. But it's very debatable because, just like me and my husband, we've been together since we were basically kids. And, you do get a lot of jealousy from your past relationships. I understand that, but in all honesty, it really shouldn't matter. Whatever happened between you and another person should not affect your current relationship, if that makes sense. I hope that made sense. I hope I didn't just talk in circles. Love and comfort are easy to confuse. I definitely agree with this statement. Some people are in a relationship just because they're comfortable with that person. They've been together for a long time. They've gotten super comfortable, and it's just easy, in my opinion, to be with that person. Because it does take a long time to really get comfortable with someone. In my opinion, it takes me a long time to get comfortable with somebody. So, a lot of people will stay in a really bad, toxic relationship just because they're comfortable with that person. But, just because you're comfortable with someone doesn't technically mean that you love that person. When you love somebody... Babe, I got a question real quick.
Yeah.
So, love and comfort are easy to confuse.
Yeah.
You're yelling. Like, how do you explain the love part? Like you love somebody.
That's where it comes into.
Like, comfortable, I understand. Like, people will stay with people because they're comfortable, even if they're, like, abusing them or not even physically, but, like, mentally and everything. But they're just so comfortable.
Being comfortable and loving somebody is two different things. Comfortable, in my opinion, is you're with somebody. You're not really happy, but you're with that person, but you've been with that person so long that you don't know any other way. That's
right.
How you live your life. And you feel starting over or leaving would be a lot harder, so you just stay where you're at because you're comfortable. You don't have to worry, you have less worries, you might not be the best relationship, but you're comfortable. So that can make it hard for you to move on or better yourself. Or any of that. And then love, in my opinion, is not really an emotion. It's like meaning what we talked about the other day.
It's definitely not an emotion.
It's not an emotion. When you're young and teenage and first love and you got the butterflies and the fireworks and all that stuff, that's more of an emotion. But the older you get, love becomes less of an emotion, and it's more of like, what would you sacrifice for that person? Love is sacrifice.
Yeah.
What are you willing to give up to help that person achieve what they want to achieve? What are you willing to do?
But sacrificing, but when you love someone, sacrificing doesn't mean, oh, I'm gonna stay with this person even though it's a bad relationship because I love them.
No.
Like, a lot of people get that misconstrued.
A good example would be, like, I went to work every day, busting my tail for taking care of a family of 5, what time he was in school.
Mm-hmm.
I sacrificed a lot of my time because I was working all the time, 10 hours a day in 17-degree weather.
Right.
Freezing cold weather, burning up weather, it didn't matter. But I did it because, I wanted you to have your dream.
Right.
And then another example would be like, love is compromise. You have got to compromise. That's part of love.
Yeah.
It's not. Love is not an emotion.
No, because your feelings change hour by hour, minute by minute. So if you base something off of your feelings, then it'd be a roller coaster.
Yeah.
All right. That one was just very difficult to explain. Alright, so I think everyone gets the gist of love and comfort are easy to confuse. Brows are done. Now we're gonna move on to not posting relationship stuff on social media. Whoo, this is a good one. It's like a 50-50 for me. The reason I say that is because, it's okay to post stuff on social media. And this doesn't just refer to, like, just relationship-wise, but just in general. Like, it's definitely okay to post stuff on social media, but there's a fine line that you need to draw. So, especially when it comes to your relationship. Posting all the good stuff is fine and dandy. But when you start wanting to post negative stuff, that's when I don't agree with it. And I can say that because I used to be that person that anytime anything was going wrong in my life, my personal life, or in my relationship, I would go to Facebook or MySpace or whatever you use, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. And I wouldn't exactly call the person out who, maybe hurt my feelings or whatever, but I would make, like, indirect posts. And I knew that person would know I was talking about them. And it just started up so much drama within, like, my friends on Facebook. And then, you know, that person's family and my family. And it was just a big fat mess. So me personally, just from learning, I would definitely say do not post the negative stuff on social media. Just don't do it. But you live and you learn. So if you're one of those that post every little thing on Facebook or whatever kind of social platform you use, and you want to keep doing it, do you. I'm just saying, it causes a lot of unnecessary drama that you could probably avoid if you just didn't do it. God versus partner. And this is like basically saying, which one do you put first? God or your partner? For me personally, God is my main priority, and that relationship is definitely number one. That's just kind of self-explanatory. Like, God comes first, partner and children and all that come after. If you can't handle distance, it ain't real. So this one for me is kind of like a situational answer. So it's like a yes and a no for me, because let's say that you're married and you've been married for a while and your partner gets a job and it requires some travel, and they could be gone for, you know, a few days, a few weeks, maybe even a month at tops. So in that situation, I personally believe that you can make it through the distance, especially if you have great communication and all that. Like, you can definitely make it through that distance. However, if it's a long distance relationship from the get-go, like neither of y'all live in the same state, that's where it gets very tricky. And I personally don't think that it really works, especially when you're young. Maybe if you're older, that might be a different story, but when you're young, I definitely don't feel like distance works. And it's really hard to get to know a person long distance. So, like, you can tell anybody whatever you want to over the phone, and, you know, even if you do visit this person a few times a month or whatever, like, that still isn't going to give you enough time to really get to know somebody. So with long distance, the trick is that person can feed you so much bull crap, and you don't even know if it's true or not. Like, you don't know what they're saying about themselves is complete truth. The only way you'll get to know somebody really is to be around them. That's when you'll learn their likes, their dislikes, and everything. And honestly, like, for instance, I'm just going to give you this example. So I know this girl, she lived about 4.5 hours from her boyfriend. So everything was good as long as they were getting to see each other, you know, a few times a month, whatever. It was hunky-dory, great. They were so in love, ready to get married, this, that, and the third. Well, then some things happened, and then they wasn't able to see each other as much, right? Well, then the guy decides this just ain't working for him. He's confused on how he feels, yada, yada, yada. So, needless to say, they broke up. So, in my opinion, that makes me wonder, like, was what he said he was feeling for her actually real? Or was it a line of bullcrap to get what he wanted? Makes you think, don't it? I'm not saying that this is the case for every person or every relationship. I'm just personally saying, how can it be real love when you just talk over a phone and you don't really get to spend time with that person, and you don't really get to know that person. I can't wait to hear what y'all think in the comments. Let's see what's next. Going to sleep mad isn't so bad. I don't agree with that statement at all. Not in the slightest. It is bad. It is terrible. It's terrible for you. It's terrible for your relationship and everything. I used to do this all the time. Go to bed mad and angry, and then I'd wake up mad and angry. The exact same as when I went to sleep. And that just makes, like, if you're having an argument with your spouse and you go to bed angry with each other, that's going to just roll into the next day and nothing's really going to get resolved. So, time has went on and things have changed. I truly believe that you should not go to bed angry with your spouse at all. It is not good for you, mentally and emotionally. It's very draining, and it really sucks to go to bed mad at your person. I know, especially for me, I don't like it. Communication is key, and if you and your partner are having an issue, y'all need to work it out. Dating to marry is not good. Wrong. That is so wrong. It's not even right. In my opinion, now that I've gotten older and getting a closer relationship with God, my kids are in a Christian school, dating to marry is very important. And honestly, I don't want my children dating just to waste time. I want them to date with a purpose, and the purpose is going to be for marriage. I feel like when you're out here dating just to date and pass by time, that's when a lot of kids get in trouble. I feel like that's when, teen pregnancy can happen and all this. So I feel like if you're raising your children right, you should definitely teach them that they need to be dating with a purpose. I don't want my kids really dating until, honestly, I wish they would just not date until they're like 18 or older, because kids don't really, and this goes for teenagers don't really date for a purpose at that age. They're dating to date, to waste time, to date the most popular girl or guy in the school, or having contests with their buddies to see if they can get this girl this week or this dude this day. And it's just a big mess. So definitely teach your kids to date for a purpose. Dating nowadays has become superficial. So before I answer this, I'm going to explain. So what this person was saying was that nowadays people are so caught up in like the way people look, or what people have, like money-wise, rather than finding someone that is compatible with them, like with their, compatible with their personalities and their beliefs. So a lot of people are out here just, dating because this person has a nice truck, or this person's rich, or this person can give me whatever I want. And I feel like dating these days it is hard because everyone's looking at materialistic things and not really caring about someone's personality, or, if this person is a good fit. They're looking at, oh, this person is very attractive, so let me just date this person. Or they have a good attitude or a good personality. It doesn't really matter to them anymore. Used to, dating was like, so you had a checklist, like, I want this person to be funny. I'm looking for, loving, caring. Nowadays, Lord, if you're a complete jerk, it's okay as long as you're attractive. You should be old school. You shouldn't be looking at someone from the outside, because guess what? Like my husband says, skin's gonna wrinkle, hair is gonna turn gray, you're not always gonna look that good, but you're stuck with that person's personality. So, when you're dating, you need to really find someone who is compatible with you. Your personalities click, your beliefs click together, and all that jazz. Like, don't just get stuck on someone's looks, because someone could be the most beautiful or the most handsome thing in the world, but treat you like crap. And you should not settle for being treated like crap just because someone looks pretty. Dating apps are good. I disagree with that. Highly disagree. Dating apps are, in my opinion, not good at all. You can get catfished so fast. And I just don't feel like it's safe. Like, you could be talking to a serial killer and not even know it, and then bring that person into your home and your life. Your partner isn't responsible for your happiness. I agree with this statement. You should not rely on a human being to make you happy. For one, you need to find happiness within yourself. That way you can be happy with somebody else. God didn't intend for one person on this earth to be able to make you completely happy or to completely satisfy you. But also, you need to rely on God to make you happy, because that is what He is there for. And I know this is very hard, because a lot of people, especially young people, want to rely on someone to make them whole. They want to make them whole, and it just doesn't work. Ultimately, you need to rely on God and find happiness within yourself, because if you're not happy with yourself, then you're going to drag your partner down, and it's just going to be a whole lot of fussing, and it's just not good. Trust me, I've been there. I've been at a state where I completely I just did not like myself. I was so sickened by myself and how I acted, and it put everybody in a bad mood. I was also dealing with a lot of other stuff too, but it does affect your whole family. So definitely try to find happiness within yourself and take time for yourself. That's how you're really gonna find that self-love and being happy with yourself. And then lastly, your boyfriend should not stop you from finding your husband. That whole sentence screams wrong. If you're dating somebody, I don't really think you should be out here looking for your next man or your next woman. That also ties in dating for a purpose. So if you were dating for a purpose, then you wouldn't be with a man or a woman looking for your next husband or wife. So yeah, that is just so wrong. That is so wrong, but it makes me laugh. Date for a purpose, and then you wouldn't have that issue. Alright guys, so that is the end of these unpopular dating opinions. So I'm going to go finish up my mascara, and then I'll be right back to close off today's video. Alright guys, so I finished the look. We finished the question, or the unpopular dating opinions. So please be sure to leave your opinion on these topics down below, because I cannot wait to see what you guys think. Please do not shoot the messenger. These are just my personal opinions. And I had a really fun time filming this for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for next Monday, and leave any kind of topics below that you want me to talk about in future videos, because I'm all for suggestions. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.